I was like, he was correct though.
Oh no, they didn't.
I can tell you put a coat on there.
Women
You
of
put a
color.
couple more on it.
I was
Buy
like,
another can,
I don't
put
know
some
why
more
they
coat on
felt
it.
to tell me that.
After
Other
you
than I was
decal,
black, if the guy was white, would you be like, oh my
You need
god,
to
I
get some
love
good
my
on.
color. Oh, what did they say? Because of Mary.
Oh, shit. I was like,
You were outside when they were having this whole discussion with me about loving black women.
Oh, really?
I was
The
like,
new
why
sound
didn't
of
you say it
Las
on air?
Vegas,
Why didn't you say it
22.3, Takeover Vegas Radio.
they're like, don't be sad.
I was like, oh
I loved it. I was like,
the second
they were like,
oh yeah, okay,
it's up in here and I was like, so when I was like, you're like, virgin here. Yeah, virgin here. Is he like scared or something or what? That's funny.
I literally.
Right. You're like, don't they have groupies or what? Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, that's it. Oh, yeah, no, they came in and, you know, talked to me. What is that? So once I explained it, you were like, yeah. Hey, Roman, your girl, Foxy Roman Young. You were tuning in my show, Sex, Fact, and Rock and Roll, man. Only on 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. Happy Sunday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sure a lot of people are watching football. That's cool, too. What's up, Sleazy?
Oh, not too much.
No,
Same old.
too
Been a pretty laid back week. Finally glad it's getting cooler out. Yeah.
It is.
I
It
love
was
the
cold. Yes,
but
we had a cold front.
Yeah.
I froze you to death.
Oh yeah.
I freeze everybody.
I wake up one morning and she's got the damn door open, the AC's on, the fans
It
on,
wasn't
the
to that
ceiling
extent.
fans on. I'm
The
like,
AC
what the
was not
fuck
on.
is going on here?
The AC was not on.
Yeah, sure.
Door was cracked And it was cracked. It wasn't all the way open.
When you've got the glass of water next to the bed turning to ice, there's an issue.
So the night that it was super chill, man, I definitely had everything open, but I sleep like that. I sleep with the door cracked and the two fans going. Last night I turned the fans off and only cracked the door so it wasn't too cold. But I also was like on another planet for several hours last night because it's been a stressful work week. God bless it. Actually, it hasn't. World, you know what I do, man. Just what I do is stressful. And the firm I'm at is a nice firm. There's really nice people there. But I hate to say it, there's no organization, okay? Like for your work, you have an organization.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
So it's not, they're great. They're big firm, big lawyers.
For a firm, there should be structure.
Yes, they have no structure. When something's happening, you are not, it's not like, oh, there's a firm administrator or a huge managing partner to talk to. It's just straight, let me talk to the secretary who's good friends with her partner, and then her partner will talk to the main partner. He's the son of that partner. It's kind of like that.
Too much shit.
Way too much shit. But people are staying home, man. Supposedly numbers are rising with COVID. Close family members caught it over the past couple weeks. Couple people that I know personally through bands and music caught it, and just people. I say stay safe.
Not even touching any of that.
No, we're not going to get in a deep convo about it, but I am aware of what's happening. I don't get into the political stuff world because it's not my jam, but definitely protect yourself. And it's real. It's totally real.
COVID Nation 2020.
Oh my. Thank God we're going into 2021. Are you ready for Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love Thanksgiving.
Yes, it's coming. I love Turkey Day. I'm not a big eater of everything. I like to have a little bit of everything on my plate.
Yeah.
But people are traveling for Thanksgiving, man. They did the statistic thing where only like maybe 15% are going to go by air, but people are going to be on the road. So if you're coming to Vegas.
Well, and Thanksgiving's like the biggest traveling day of the year. That's when everybody travels across the entire country just to see family for 2-3 days.
Yes, and now people have not seen. Manny C's in the house with his goddamn phone on. Manny, go outside. Shout out to Manny C, man. He's here, local licks. He's just chilling in Las Vegas, I think, but he's in the studio, but he just ran out because his phone was going off during my show.
Which reminds me.
What's up? Oh, yeah,
turn down my phone.
What else is happening this week, man? Nothing much, man. I'm going to see my sister on Monday. Last weekend, we had Six Gun Sal in the house. Shout out to you guys. Anthony and Joey, you guys were great. Nick, his son, I felt kind of bad because, I still rock and roll with sex. And those guys clammed up a little bit.
It kills me too. It's like you listen to the show, we come with it. If we're going to talk about eating ass, we're going to talk about eating ass. So you better be prepared for that shit.
But it's okay because some people may want to just come in and listen, and hear the show and not necessarily participate in butt-licking.
I like participating. It's a lot more fun than listening.
Oh my God. But yeah, I'm so happy that those guys came through.
They're a cool cast.
They're super cool. Their music is great. I have them in my everyday playlist. Six Gun Sal, shout out to you guys. They're a Southern rock band. Well, if you didn't catch it, they came in studio and we laughed our asses off. We had the best time with them. Those guys have the best personalities.
Yeah, the bromance right there.
That was so funny. It was so thick. Those guys are super fabulous. And like I said, we had a good time here in studio with them. And thanks again for coming through. And Anthony, if you're listening, last week's episode is up. I know you've been messaging me about it. And during the week is really like a shit time for me, especially if I'm super slammed with school and work. But it's up. I messaged the station owner. She said it's up. All shows are up. So go listen to last week's episode of Sex Facts.
Yeah, where's our merchandise?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Big guest with our merch.
Yes.
Like, yeah, bro.
So if you're a guest on this show, man, you better totally bring merch, man.
Yeah.
And they said they brought it, but they had left it at their hotel. It's cool. I'll give you my mailing address. Yeah, you did get your guitar. I got my show notes signed. So that's what's up, man. Just send it in the mail or, hey, come back.
Yeah.
Rock out.
And this time actually getting on the discussion. Let's get shit dirty.
I'm still shit dirty. All right, Roll. I'm gonna get into a song, man. I heard this song by Rob Zombie recently, and I absolutely love it. It is, isn't he? It's Triumph. Triumph. I never say that word. Ugh, a tongue tied Sunday. Man, Triumph of King Freak. I love it, live it, breathe it. Hey, roll it, your girl, Fox Rebel Yell. You know what you're tuned into, Sex, Fox, and Rock and Roll, man. Let's get into some zombie. Let's rock. So I was like, what's the name of the fucking track?
And then I was like, what's the name right now?
Yeah. It says right.
I know that Rob Zombie first, and then
Yeah.
then I was like,
It doesn't say it though, like underneath it.
I remember when Astro came out, and I was like, ew. The white zombie. I don't know. First I say white zombie. I prefer the Rob Zombie. I would think that yeah.
I think everybody knows that story was love each other. I'm so many nothing. So I got to I'll promote the country. There's a lot of fun. I'm like, I'm super it is. Are you on the right now? True that. That is the crowd actor. He lives there. I was like, dude, I was doing this all day, every single day. Even if I was I'm like, oh, all right. They're like, well, but man, I put my I had my yeah, so I was like, oh, I have to transfer over. And I really love it. Kind of down a little. All right, so I'm gonna come back and then there's two slow down songs. Protect the land and I don't know the name.
okay, so then up and down, and then that.
Protect the land is after Rob Zombie. That's what the slow down and then up and down. So those two are just right down. You don't have to protect the land.
I have up and down.
Where listen you guys? Yeah. And then walk. Cowboy show now.
Maybe I don't know. Up and
No. No, that's what the person said.
down. Okay.
Yeah. Protect the land says protect the land. And then it says up and down.
What's that? Up and down. And then
Oh. Okay, and then underneath that it says up and down. Right?
No, up and down, right under Rob.
Oh shit. I don't know what list I'm saying.
I don't know, but
It's all good.
I had to bring it.
Hey, roll it, your girl Foxy Rebel Yell, and you are tuned into my show, Sex, Fox, and Rock and Roll, only on 22.3 Take Over Vegas Radio. Man, that was some Rob Zombie with Triumph of a King Freak. I love Rob Zombie. He's fucking awesome. We're just talking about White Zombie versus Rob Zombie. I don't know. I think I like them both. They're both badass. They both got good music. I absolutely love it. Hey, don't forget, you can listen to me on several different ways, man. All available on the iOS and Google Play Store. You can download the 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio app. You can download the Radio Guide FM, Mixler, my Tuner Radio app, Novix app, the TuneIn app. I mean, there's so many ways to listen to me. When you ask me and I tell you, please read my post, that tells me you like it, but you don't read it, bitches. Because in that, it outlines every way you can listen to me. So for sure, look at what I post, but I just showed you all the ways. And if you ask me, I'm going to tell you all those same ways, man. Just make sure you tune in. Don't forget you can call at 702-412-5870. Follow me on the gram at Foxy Rebel Yell, all one word. Let's see. I tell you this every Sunday, man. Support local businesses. Today I am supporting Chef on the Road. They are great. You could call and kind of see what they have. It's custom made food. They have salads. They have full meals. Like this week I had meatloaf, garlic mashed potatoes, and broccoli. I've had the chicken pesto, the egg salad sandwich. They make really good stuff to customize it for you. And hey, I say get on their website. It's Chef on the Road. And you can always call them. You know, they also will come in and promote their food for your office. So people can buy lunch as opposed to buying McDonald's. You can have a healthy meal. You could call them at 702. Oh, man, I got the worst eyes today, bro. What's that say? 702 is it 286?
Oh, there it is. 702-286-6160.
Yes, call them, see what's going on, go to their website. Check out the food. It is good. I highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Yeah, I remember when you were telling me about it, I was like, Chef on the Road, what the fuck is that? I've never heard of such a thing.
Yes, it's big. It's big, man. Like they have different companies that go around and they come in your office and they already have the stuff in these cold packs, hot packs, whatever. And the stuff's already made. They have sandwiches, they have wraps, they have breakfast, they have fruit, they individualize, they personalize. The food is awesome sauce. And you know, I have somebody who cooks for me. Fortunately, they have the coronavirus, and so Mama has had to suffer for like 2 or 3 weeks up to my own.
I know. But you made a crock pot food.
I did cook last night, and it was good. My little crock pot meal was tasty delight. However, I forgot that you said you don't like
Carrots.
cooked carrots.
Yeah.
And I cooked the motherfucking carrots and they were good. It was funny, we were stoned, right, world? And so we're eating and I was like, he's not eating his food. I verbalized that. And so I took his bowl and just started eating and I was like, are you gonna eat these potatoes? And
No, you asked because I saw you got on the subject of I don't like cooked carrots and you were like, oh, can I have them? I was like, yeah, here, go ahead. And then you just started taking everything out of my bowl individually. And I was like, wait, I'm eating still, right? What the fuck are you doing?
I felt that. I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. But that shit was good though.
Yeah, there was plenty of it. It's all good.
And I feel that because it should still be good.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
All right, well, you don't care about that conversation, but it still should be fabulous.
Hey, it's crock pot season.
Yes.
Winter is always when you break out that crock pot and get that slow stewing meal.
I have people who have sent me and shared with me some crock pot recipes from last year when I was crock potting. And I was like, well, maybe I will become adventurous and make those. And I don't know about that.
All sorts of shit you can make in a crock pot.
Well, so I'm not shouting out restaurants necessarily, except Chef on the Road, but I am saying it's crock pot season. Make some stuff then send me your recipes. I'm not saying I will be the best at trying to make it do what it do.
Hey, like I was telling you last night, you got to do some stupid shit to fuck up something in a crock pot. I mean, I've seen people burn the water out of a pan, fuck up noodles,
Guilty,
everything.
guilty.
But when it comes to a crock pot, shit, you put that shit on temperature, you let it go for 12 hours. I mean, what the fuck? You cannot fuck this up. Break out the crock pot, people.
Mine went 4-6.
Yeah.
And it came out fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to chili.
I'm not making that.
Oh, I'm making that. I'll make that shit meaty, hearty, and just make you want to eat more.
Well, the only thing, like, I didn't eat out this week. I haven't been eating out. A lot of it is due to the coronavirus. I absolutely hate wearing a mask, and I hate going places that require it. And now it's my understanding you have to keep it on until the food or beverages come. Fuck all those kind of rules.
I'm not doing it.
But it helps me save money because I'm not eating out. But when people ask me, like, local places to go. High-end local place, Golden Steer. It's down on, I believe, West Sahara, kind of going over the bridge. Go over there, man. It's from West Sahara heading east from where I'm coming. You're coming from the east side, you're heading west. The Golden Steer is an old money restaurant. Lots of major celebs ate there. I'm talking like the 40s, 50s, 60s. Not that our city's that old, but at least the 50s, 60s.
It's that old.
Yeah, and it's oh man, the food is very, very good. The prices are a little pricey because it's definitely a little more ritzy, but I highly recommend going over there. Italia North, for sure. If you like Italian food, that is gonna actually be on Charleston and Rampart, not Fort Apache side. It's still Rampart. It is really good. It's in this shopping center. It's called North Italia. The food is amazing. They have awesome wine selection. They've got your typical pastas and stuff like that. They do have steak, chicken, but everything's super Italiano, and it is so good.
Yeah, I never heard of the place.
Yes, okay, so you're not really an eater outer at finer dining, so that's not your jam.
I don't mind it, you know. It's always good to, you know, try new places and stuff. But
Yeah.
it comes down to it, I just look at the dollar signs.
Me, I'm just looking for the food, man. Hey, get over to Seiko's for cocktails. That's a local bar here in town. Hopefully they don't shut down the bars and stuff like that in the next couple weeks, but get over there. That's a local spot. It's my local jam. I like to hang out there. You know, I usually hang out at Banff. There's no live music right now. You can still go down there because they still have music. They have some people playing acoustic. It's still freaking badass. So I still highly recommend getting over there. Just don't expect like Danny and those guys to belt out fucking hella rock tunes. Like I said, they're letting a couple people play acoustic over there. But still go. They still have good music.
I like acoustic.
Yeah, it's super cool. And Zito played, John Zito, shout out to you. He played a couple of weeks ago. I know, I forget the guy who just played last week. I didn't see that anybody was lined up for this week. But still, good music, good music.
On a side note, it's funny though, because I went to the store last night to pick up the Hawaiian rolls and everything. And we were talking about how stores are getting packed again because people are starting to buy up all the toilet paper, all that shit. I'm waiting for the time I get to go to the grocery store and see somebody buying up the Little Debbie's because they're potheads.
Oh.
And be like, oh, I wonder what he's doing. Oh, that motherfucker's getting high as fuck.
I think that side note is for like the small A&PMs and Sinclairs of the world.
Shit, I'm buying up the Little Debbie's.
All right, well, it's your girl Foxy Rebel Yell. You are tuned into Sex, Fox, and Rock and Roll. I got 2 System of a Down songs playing, and you know what's funny? I'm just gonna leave it at their System of a Down because one doesn't have the title of the song and the other is mixed up. Jess Bad is gonna spin up the 2. So let's rock.
System of a Down.
Hold on, I might have to bring you back in because it's like.
Is it not playing?
No.
Okay.
Here we go.
There we go.
That of a down one is the one that wasn't playing.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
I can find it on YouTube.
Thank you, because I was like, I just put them in the Sunday one. When I went back to write the song.
But one of my favorite photos was Down, Great. And then they had Robot, I think. Yeah. Oh, you can tell it's right.
Is that the name of the song?
I don't think so.
That's not the name of it. What's the name of the song?
I don't know. That's why I was like,
What was the one you were saying?
oh, I'm in video. She's like, no, you only have one. I'm like, God, what list did I send you?
What was the name of that? Protect the Land.
Yes. Protect the Lamb. I just said other down on the other one.
Yeah, I got it. Sorry.
Other Down.
Can you turn it up a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, really, to go back to the record. Yeah, I'm on air and with community right now. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, man.
It wasn't system down vacation, and it was system of down street sweeper social club.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah, which is actually yeah, street sweeper social club. That's Tom Morello from System of Down. Yeah, that worked. Or Tom Morello from Architecture went, and that was the next thing. Street Sweeper Social Club. Yeah, got it out. This is take too long to barely play. That's a lot. But most people expect System of Down song is like spiders, aerial, activity, you gotta
No, just let it play for another 20 minutes. We're not on a death row.
I went to that Italian workplace.
Have you?
Yeah, I did. I loved it. Everyone went with it.
The food is so good there.
I love that place.
I haven't been there in a long time, but I did a review on it last time I did here. That's how I was all that bread and all that pasta, all that.
I had like,
Yeah, they they're very talented.
I didn't even know they had that.
They're talented. That's so good. Every time I count out a restaurant, if you give them good that you eat there. Except you don't eat cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory.
I don't even like their food.
That's right. That's awesome.
I've been to Cheesecake Factory more than once. That's in Carolina. I don't know.
Okay.
Not like maybe the first time it had been.
Right,
Let's
right.
go again. How many times?
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
What if half of the grill?
I've been to Montana. I haven't gone to Cabo Grove yet.
Yeah.
I do want to go to the Golden Gate.
Yeah. So good. And the first time I went, I got food.
Oh wow. She said when she went in there, she went in there just like randomly to get like a salad or something. And she was like, I feel like I don't need girl Because about to get shot up and right. They were all looking at me crazy.
It used to be,
with our mom. That's an Italian restaurant right there.
that's like Capo. Capo is fucking awesome. It's got a whole Chicago mob theme. And it's just,
Oh, I think I heard that.
oh, it's so good. It's got my Sarah's got the whole school, like, live on
Oh, it's a Trevi inside of the lawn shop.
Oh, I never seen that.
Oh, wow.
It's so good.
I don't do that often.
Really? No, not from this.
Never tried it there yet. Oh, really? I think it's so funny. You're doing it.
Okay. Hey, well, did you go Foxy Rebel? You were tuning into my show, Sex, Facts, and Rock and Roll, only on 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. That was 2 tracks from System of a Down. Really good songs. Love them. Live them. Breathe them. How you feel about System of a Down?
One of the greatest bands ever. I think. Serge, I always fuck up his last name.
Tarkanian.
Like, yeah. But man's epic as fuck. I mean, that voice is, you cannot. You ever try to see a System of a Down cover band? Yeah, they just, in my opinion, give it the fuck up.
They have a good System of a Down cover band here, and they're really good. They pack bands, and people really, really dig them. And I've heard a couple different ones, but they're called BYOB. Shout out to those guys. Some of those members are also in Smashing Alice, the Alice and James cover band. And both bands are actually really, really good for cover bands. I will say.
Check them out.
Yes, most definitely. They are good. And actually, Smashing Alice is booked to play in January in your city.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to scope those members
Which I
out.
probably won't be doing, but a good idea.
Why?
I don't know. Current bars are like.
They're not the best, but come on, you gotta support.
And plus COVID. It's like going to a bar wearing a mask, kiss my ass.
Well, maybe we can get away with it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Foreign corn. So I was watching foreign porn. How fucking rad. It's all the same, kind of. But I was watching Japanese porn and Russian porn. You were asking me about the anime porn. I've never watched it. I've seen snippets of it, and it's interesting.
Yeah, and funny enough, hentai porn is actually huge, especially with a bunch of nerds, geeks, stuff like that. But I ain't saying none. I'm a nerd and a geek myself, so it's all good, motherfuckers. But that's a massive industry, hentai porn. I mean, you have comics that are drawn by people that are just like tentacles coming out, raping this girl, shit like that. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? But
well, I wasn't watching that. You know, I was just like watching
Ninja Scroll. That shit, insanely intense anime. And it's not a cartoon. You want to call that shit cartoons? It's just like, what the fuck? It's not a cartoon. It's anime.
Well, on that note, I don't know about either one of those, so I cannot speak intelligently about them. But the Japanese really was just more, I don't know. The girl was like making all her sexual noises and stuff and just mostly annoying me. I really couldn't get off. So I turned the volume down. But the process was still the same. The Russian porn, I tend to look at the surroundings of porn, like the backdrop. And so when I watched the Russian porn, they were like doing it.
I really don't like those flowers in the background. I'm changing the channel.
I was like, oh my God, look at the apartment in Russia that's set up so differently. Not only that, but it was one where the husband was watching and this Russian guy was this Russian chick, and boy, they were making these men make these like heavy sounds. It's a very,
the Russian
harsh culture anyway. But doing all sorts of stuff that we do over here, that's different, just more in the Russian culture.
I saw this Japanese one time, and you can tell the differences in sex by culture because of porn at times.
Yeah.
Because this Japanese one I saw one time, they had this woman sitting on like a giant sized Lazy Susan.
Right.
And she had sushi all over her body. And then, well, of course, one thing leads to another, and you got a bunch of jabs, Yeah. But it was like, okay, that was different. I was like, sending her around on a Lazy Susan like you were in some sushi place, and then it breaks out into an orgy. Anybody want sushi?
I'm not a sex and food person. There was no food involved in mine. It was just these two guys, well endowed, by the way. Don't believe the hype that Asian men have small penises, man. These guys were good to go, and it started out mostly like a nipple clit kind of thing. So that was the focus. Asian girl had nice sized boobs, looked pretty natural. She had huge nipples, not huge, like weird huge, but big enough. And so those guys were going to town. She was getting double banged, and she was able to take both those guys at once, and not anal and in the vaginal canal. It was literally both.
Double D, double A.
Yeah, I was like,
DVD.
All right, girl, you're a trooper.
Yeah, the old DVD.
Yeah, the Russian
Yeah,
stuff.
double vaginal, double anal.
The vaginal stuff or the Russian stuff.
Jess is like, what
Stop
the
talking
fuck?
over each other. The Russian stuff definitely was more of a watching thing, which is what I like. And like I said, the language barrier. But now you know what they sound like, and it was pretty hot.
Well, it's funny because the way porn sort of works, it is the Germans come out with most of the nastiest shit you can imagine. And it just sort of makes its way around the world from the Germans. You know, you go throughout Europe and sex is definitely completely different than it is anywhere else in the world because it's not near as certain things aren't frowned upon. You know, the culture is a lot different. So, you know, like you know, water sports and shit like that, which is pissing on somebody for anybody who doesn't know water sports. The you know, huge thing throughout Europe.
Right.
You know, but
it's a huge thing everywhere. I have a girlfriend recently.
Yeah. But
some guy
before
asked her,
it started through Europe and then just spread through the entire world like that.
I don't want anybody to tinkle on me. Somebody recently approached a girlfriend of mine. She's had a couple guys she's dating. She's out there and she's had a couple guys and they want her to do that to them. And she's like, I worry about the bedding. You know, I guess if we put, I was like, put puppy pads down.
Buy puppy pads. Get a tarp.
If you have to have a tarp during sex,
do it in the bathtub.
It's about to get wet. She just was like, it's just not my jam. It's not everybody's jam, but there's people who are totally into that. I also was watching the massage porn. I was mostly watching lesbian massage porn. It's very tantalizing. But I also was watching straight, and it was this white guy massaging this. They called her Japanese, but she looked like she was half black, Japanese. And boy, she had an amazing body, and the whole massage thing was great. And what kills me is it cuts off as he's taking off his own clothes and getting ready to.
Oh, bring a video. We're done. Cut.
Right? I was like, God, the camera's angled in such a way that this could be fucking dynamic porn. But it didn't work out like that. So it was like, all right, well, it was nice to watch it. It made my day. It got me off. I watched all that different porn. Next, I'm going to investigate the deaf porn.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know me, you know I'm into the deaf culture, American Sign Language, and Russian Sign Language. For my degree, my master's degree in international relations. It's not for porn, it's because I want to work with the deaf in those in the United States and in Russia. And so, but I'm curious to find out kind of what the deaf culture's porn
I could just
like.
Imagine, no.
We're not making fun of the deaf.
No, we are not at all.
But it'll be interesting to hear their sound.
I mean, how do you communicate when your hands are being used to do other things?
I don't think you have to worry about that. I think sex is a universal language.
No, it's definitely fucking not. Because there are definitely languages I speak that other people do not.
On that note, someone asked about so we talked about 15 different sexual positions last week.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody kind of knew what they were, with the exception of a couple. By titles, a couple that I wasn't really familiar with, but you were, and our guests weren't familiar with those positions at all. I felt bad. But the oyster. Okay.
The oyster. Do the oyster and have some clams.
So it's like, have her lie flat on her back, okay, and enter her like you would in a missionary position. Have her bend her legs and pull them into the air so they look like a capital M in front of you. Rest on your hands on the back of each of her thighs. Okay, so put your hands on so now I'm getting the visual, okay. And then push your legs even further apart and go to town.
You know, it's hilarious. They actually message you, asking you to re-describe how to do it instead of just Googling the fucking thing.
I don't give a shit. It's called listeners.
Yeah, hey.
They may have Googled it and liked the way I read it.
I can't argue with that.
Don't know.
I'm not.
So that's the oyster for the world that didn't know, for the person that asked me to repeat it. Luckily, I keep show notes and had it, and it sounds pretty good. So our actual topic for today is long distance relationships. All right. And All right. So I think everybody's probably been in one at this point.
Oh yeah, I think everybody at some point has had a real one or an imaginary one. So, because I mean, how many people do you know growing up? They're like, oh no, I've got a girlfriend. Oh no, she's from Canada. Oh, we see each other through the summer.
So I think with long distance relationships, boy, you gotta really trust the person. I've had several. That used to be the only way I would date, because it allowed me to travel. I absolutely loved it, and I was traveling already with my career, so it was always cool to have a deposition and like meet somebody in another city and possibly date them. I did a 2-year long distance relationship with someone. This person lived in Ohio, and I wasn't gonna move to Ohio. And so, and I did not ask them to move to Vegas. But it was cool. It was great. Met the family. The family was great. Got really attached to them. But one of the ways that we had to keep it fresh and on and popping was we had a lot of phone sex. We didn't have the whole video thing going on at the time. There's a lot of phone sex nowadays. I like phone sex, but people send photos, and then you can video chat and cam and all that stuff. And I don't know. I don't want the long distance. So
I personally, I've just never had any luck with long distance relationships. Trust issues more than anything, probably. Yeah. But I dated just a bunch of scandalous bitches through my life, and most of them just cannot be trusted.
I didn't date a bunch of scandalous bitches, but I did have a couple of situations where I got off the plane and the person was not who they said they were.
Yeah.
So I think nowadays it's easier because you can cam with the person.
Yeah, it makes no difference. Filters.
You could cam with the person in real time unless you're being catfished. But for those relationships that are on the up and up and long distance, I have a musician that I work with, and he lives in Texas, and his chick lives in San Fran, and I'm sure they make it work. There's lots of ways. In fact, they're engaged, and I think, who's going to uproot? Those are both badass cities.
Yeah, I get the fuck out of Texas personally, but California's not doing much better at the moment.
No. But I think with long distance relationships, you have to have trust. So if you're just meeting people online, I think to avoid catfishing and all that kind of shit, you should definitely FaceTime with the person or Duo or whatever, just video chat with the person immediately so you know it's them, I think. Because I think on the phone, I don't know how you get to that point.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you must be really bored.
You picked this topic. You better work it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I like long distance relationships. I think are just a very trust-based situation. If you cannot trust the person you're in a relationship with, but how do you start a relationship and continue it with someone that you've never met directly?
That's true. I mean, so back in the day we had the AOL chat rooms, right?
Oh, God.
Okay. So you had those chat rooms and you meet somebody, you're talking to them, and you could talk to this person for 6-7 million months and not necessarily see them. And back then there wasn't all this video technology really, or you had to have money to have it. So people were sending photos in the mail. You had to go through a travel agency back then to make your travel arrangements. It's a lot invested.
You about back in Yahoo chat, Messenger, and shit like that. You put an ASL, age, sex, location.
I didn't know what that meant.
Oh wow!
I forgot what that meant.
I remember those days trying to pick up a date with a blind. Something's not really there. It's just imaginary.
Well, it's there. No, it's not imaginary. If you're talking back and forth.
But you're imagining somebody that might not really even be that person.
True, but I don't know that it was such. Okay, when I'm speaking for when I was doing it, I can't speak for everybody else. When I was in those chat rooms, it didn't go with the age, sex, location. You were in a chat room and they were specialized chat rooms.
Yeah.
And so people are talking back and forth, and then you kind of come off and you start talking with this person, and then it went to the phone because there was no texting back then. And then if you really wanted to talk to the person, you talked on the phone for hours and ran up your fucking phone bill. And then you started sending photos, and then you would travel to see the person. So you travel, and either they are who they are, but then they're a hot mess when you leave the joint. I mean, a hot fucking mess. I met somebody online and moved cross country for this person.
That's fucked up.
And it was fine until I got to North Carolina. I had moved from San Diego. I didn't really know anything about the state. I think I told you I was just obsessed with this dick. I didn't care. So I moved there, saw it was hard to get a job because I was Black. This was one horse town, but there's a base there. So if you were on base, you were great. Off base, because it was Fayetteville, North Carolina, it was bad, and it taught me A, don't move for anybody to meet online, but B, anything that ends in a bill world is not very promising.
It's funny the amount of people that probably say, you know, they've had the same kind of experience, traveled to meet somebody, moved to meet somebody, or be with somebody, and then got there and were like, what the fuck did I just do?
Well, we had visited and sent pictures, and we were squared away with what the other person looked like. He invited me to the All Rings Ball. I went to that, and still, you're in a hotel, you're not living, you're just in those moments. And so eventually, once he flew out to San Diego and we drove back to North Carolina, A road trip will tell you a lot about a person, but B, I had to live in the barracks. That's how like dumb I was with that. I was still smart with my studies, but I was like, I wasn't thinking where I was going to live. I was hiding in these barracks. I lived in the barracks for a month. It was crazy. I would shower with everybody because they had open bay bathrooms, so there'd be like 20 fucking dudes in there showering. So I mean, most of the time they would leave. There might be one in there, but they all knew me. They knew that I was living there. The guy on watch, we would pay him, and he wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't put my name down.
That's a great story.
Yes, and then when I did move, now mind you, the kid was still pretty squared away. It wasn't until I moved out and I had my own space. Now this person's suddenly in my space and trying to get him my money and all this stuff. I was just like, dude, what happened to when we first met and got off the airport and, met at the airport and ran towards each other, and it was fucking fabulous. After a while, I was like, fuck this nonsense. I left in the middle of the night and came back to Vegas.
Left in the middle of the night, was like, yeah, I'm out.
This isn't for me. I left, and he was like, I went on a jump, I came back, you weren't here, like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't live there anymore. And that was that. But I still think, yep, that was the end of my online dating, actually. I started meeting people in person because you're taking a chance.
Well, really, it wasn't the end of your online dating.
It was the end of my online dating.
We met through online dating.
But we met through online dating, and then we didn't stay online for 2 years.
No.
Okay, so it's totally a different situation. This situation was, we don't live near each other. I was the dumbass that moved. And I still was like, okay, I would meet people online, but I would never uproot again.
Yeah.
The sex was always really good with this person. That's what that story was leading to. We would have awesome phone sex, and I would expect the person, if that's how they were on the phone, I wanted them to be like that in person. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not.
That is not true.
Okay, so
a person could talk up a lot of game.
Hell yeah.
And then all of a sudden, and fail.
And I didn't talk up a lot of game, and I am a kinky bitch, and I wasn't going to talk it up because I also didn't know if this person would be into the things that I was into. So I didn't talk it up. I just would, just talk. So once I moved there and started getting the lay of the land, he was like, you're a fucking kinky bitch. I did not know that about you. It was like,
well, you didn't cover that in the phone sex?
We did not. I told you I didn't put it out there like that.
No,
I wouldn't say. No, I wouldn't. I didn't say because I wasn't like the most experienced at it. I just wouldn't say the stuff that I was into because I had experienced the backlash behind it. So I felt like, let me just keep it under wraps and see what happens when we're in person.
But then you find out he's not, and you're like, oh, damn it.
He wasn't.
At least I'm surrounded by men in the shower.
I was. Oh God, Fort Bragg. Let me tell you, that is the mecca and the home of a million white men. There's white men and other men there too, but a lot of white men. So I mean, I had no problem doing my thing when I was there. And he just was like, listen, that's just not my jam. So when I left, it was because I just legit didn't want to live in the South anymore. But it was a lesson to like kind of scale back on meeting people online and dating them for a while and all that. I started meeting people online for encounters, and then I stopped meeting people online and just had this circle of people that I would have encounters with. So
did you ever use the Craigslist encounters section?
No, because Craigslist wasn't. I didn't know about Craigslist until I'd been married for 10 years.
And then Yahoo was Yahoo Chats Adults.
Okay, no, I was out of the chat situation at that point. Because we're on an age difference. You're 43, I'm 48, so we got 6 years difference. So in that 6 years, 5 years, okay. Everything kind of changed. Everything has changed quite a bit.
Well, and I've always been in technology.
Right.
But
I think
still coming into your own with it.
Right. But I mean, like you said, the topic is long distance relationships. And so I think it depends on who you meet and what you're doing and if you can make it work. Now you have a lot more advantages in seeing the person visually and talking to them for hours and hours and hours and drying out your fucking phone battery. But back in the day, you did not have those options, man. And I heard, to tie this into music, Patti Smythe lived in New York and she dated somebody who lived in Detroit, and she would only talk to him once a week on the phone. And she actually wrote the lyrics to Because the Night Belongs to Lovers because of that relationship, although Springsteen gave her the music for that song. So that's how I tied it all into sex, facts, and rock and roll.
There you go. That was perfect.
I don't even know what time it is, man. We've been talking.
3:49.
It's 3:49. This went so fast.
It always does.
It always does. But that was a good topic. Thanks for picking that. And I think, people listen to us for our topics. It wasn't a raunchy topic.
No, it was a very basic topic.
Yes, we kept it nice, and because I think we can get graphic, but that's okay because that's what we do.
Yeah, I say if you like long distance relationships, you want to try it, you trust a person, give it a shot. Shit, have fun.
Travel. Well,
yeah.
I mean, now
it's don't uproot your entire fucking family for some dude you met on the internet that you've never even met in person, or girl, on just a whim. Put a little something into it. If you're in your 20s or something, it's one thing.
Just do it. Just fucking do it.
When you're in like 30 or 40 and shit, you got a whole work and family and all that. Fuck no. Think about this shit.
I have no interest in any kind of a long distance relationship. I used to like to date, and I used to only date military guys because they would go away and come back and go away and come back, or they would live somewhere else, and it was cool to travel because I had been married military before. So I kind of knew that jam and that schedule, unless you meet somebody who fucking doesn't go anywhere. But still, I mean,
you still are in a long distance relationship.
I called it that, and you said it wasn't that.
It's not. It's only 45 minutes. It's like driving across fucking Vegas. Man, it's like I lived on the north side.
And yeah, I mean, I think with long distance stuff, I wouldn't recommend it circa now, because you could still meet the person online. They could be who they are, set up a dope backdrop, and then you go visit them and they kill your ass.
Yep. And I've never understood. Can anybody explain to me why they call it catfishing? I mean, I know what it means and all that shit, but I don't know about anybody else. But I've gone catfishing, not for people, but for actual catfish. And you specifically go after catfish when you go catfish fishing.
Okay.
You don't go bass fishing and catch a catfish. That's just not how it works.
So catfishing, okay, so that was Neve's story. That was a real story, and he made a documentary /
no idea
about it. Okay, Neve is the host of the show Catfish, and he got catfished by this older woman, and the relationship went on for, I want to say, like 6-7 years. It was crazy, and that's how the show spawned. This person went specifically out for him, did all this stuff so he wouldn't meet her, and people really fall into that. It's like, if you haven't met the person in a fucking week, like, fuck that, move on. But they had this other kind of connection, and so he stayed in it, and she wasn't who she said she was, and then she turned crazy and was all the stuff, and really put him through it.
So he dubbed it catfishing?
Catfish. So after that, he took that concept, and now is very successful with his show.
Well, I've never heard that.
MTV. It's an interesting show. I watched it for years, but after a while, the episodes are the same. So some of the episodes, the people are who they are, but they're quiet like you, and they're weird, and they go off, and they don't communicate, and all that kind of shit.
I study. I'm not weird. I like to check out my surroundings, absorb what's going on, and then I come out of my shell and become the asshole that I am.
So he was not an asshole. He was very gullible. But the show, after a while, it's predictable. Like, they're catfishing, or it's a guy, and you're talking to a girl, you're talking to the girl's cousin or best friend, or the friend comes out and tells you. It's all this random shit. I was sending
pictures of my brother. I'm really 300 pounds overweight.
And so the show is still going. I think they have like
Is it really?
Yeah, it's been on for like a decade. And so it's a trip when you are watching it, like, damn, these people still fall for this shit unless you don't know about catfishing. It's sort of like being on Intervention, and they're surprised. It's like, have you not seen that show? It's been on for 20 fucking years.
You're trying to convince me to go to this place, to do this thing, And you're making it like a celebration?
No, not even with intervention. They're following you because they say we're making a documentary about drugs.
Yeah, it's really intervention.
And it's an intervention. Okay, so
I did
now,
not see it coming.
yes, how many years later, how can you not know that? So Catfish is the same thing. People still watch it. It is on MTV, and that's a younger demographic.
Yep.
However, they're watching it. But hello, I was just like, when it turns out to be the person, you're like, oh my God, how fucking rad. But when it's not the person, you're like, oh my God, how can you be so stupid? You talk to this person for 2 years or you've never seen them. Their camera's broke. They have they got a Google number or some shit. It's crazy. But it's all part of sex, facts, and rock and roll, man. Hey, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, I know like that hour is done.
Yeah, when I got 2 hours, I use my 2 hour slot for guests. But
both of us just rant and
I know. It's all good, though. So we're supposed to shout out the shows. All right, so the next show that's coming up after me. All right, so let me just give you the whole lineup. So it's Refuel on Sundays from 12 to 1, Mind Your Business from 1 to 2, me, Sex, Facts, and Rock and Roll from 3 to 4, On the Line, hosted by Jazzy, is from 4 to 5. We've got Local Licks, Manny C. After that, Manny, what's your, from 5 to 6. Craze Way, her talk show is from 6 to 7. It's a Good Day to Be Gay, hosted by Just Bad. It's from 7 to 8. So Sundays, man, check us out. That's a full fucking roster, right?
You need to have somebody like Denzel Washington come in and do that.
Shout out to all the shows. Shout out to everybody at 22.3 TakeOver Vegas Radio. I'm doing my normal shout outs now. I always shout out the whole TakeOver team, bam. So shout out to everybody. Thank all my friends and family and fans of me, everybody that tunes in and listens and all that good shit and works out with us.
Just love all you motherfuckers. Listen next week. See you then.
Yeah, all right. So we are going to get into a song for you. Institutionalized by Body Count, man. Yeah. We're going to rock that shit. All right, roll it, your girl, Foxy Robiel. You are tuned into my show, Sex, Fox, and Rock and Roll. Later, taters.
Play a little Xbox, relax a little. Then my wife comes in, she starts telling me I play too much Xbox. I said, what the fuck do you mean? This is just how I relax.
It's Jazzy and then, yeah, you're doing this show on. Are you getting sick? Yeah. I know. No, you're like, oh. I told her to. Oh. Yeah, Anthony knows different. I'm like, I think Monday. Oh my God, Monday. Like, I don't know when they go up. Like, we're in the moment. Oh, yeah. So what app happens? Like, that's just app. That's shit, man. I'm like, well, I love spinning for it. I'm like, turn off your notifications.
You got a website for these yet? Yeah.
And it's also yeah, the one that we
Oh, yeah, I have one in my office.
Yeah, right.
It's good to see you, love. Yeah. I'll see you soon. I was telling Batgirl we should have a holiday party.
Oh, yeah.
Like something.
That might be possible.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a
place out
separate.
here, but I think we'll have it there.
Yeah. Are you gonna move here?
Oh,
Really? You and Chris? That's fucking
All
rad.
right, man.
That's
All right,
hella
thanks, I
cool.
appreciate it.
Bye,
Go on.
Petunia.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you. I'll take care of you next week. Okay, yeah. Okay. Bye, guys. Have a
Bye.
good Sunday.
Where'd Bagger go?
She had to go run to the house. Get something.
Your Las Vegas connection for music, news, and fun. 22.3 TakeOver Vegas Radio.
Hi guys, welcome to On the Line. This is very nerve-wracking. I am Jazzy and this is On the Line. This is my first time doing this in about 4 years, so cut me a little bit of slack. I'm a little nervous, a little shaky, but we're gonna start off setting the mood with one of my favorite artists of all time, even though she's fairly new. It's Billie Eilish, Everything I Wanted. We'll be right back. I had a dream. I got everything I wanted. Not what you think. And if I'm being honest, it might
22.3 TakeOver Vegas Radio, the station that has more fun.
See, all these boxes are like that in here.
I mean, that's cool.
Except
Yeah,
for
you can
one.
take it like that. I just want to give him a nice one, take to the winery, use it for the people who drink it.
I was gonna put this one
Oh, in front?
in front of the